At about noon, just thought
What the hell? This doesn't even have any intro music.
Oh, great song. You suggested that.
There's no intro to it. It's just right into rap, and it's probably saying the N word a bunch of times.
Cruising down the street in
Yeah,
my
I think they do.
jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes, in the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there.
Oh, this is the edited version.
Who can it be? A brick alchemy.
Oh, I missed it. I cut off El Camino, damn it.
This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every weekday night at midnight Eastern. It's 9 p.m. Pacific for about an hour. We'll talk about guns each night. Thanks to Steven over on the Gun Channel side for recommending our intro song today. Got a couple of hosts tonight. We got Angelina jumping in from California. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
Looks like Cycle Camp jumped in from Connecticut. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey there. Glad to be here.
Night Strike is either back or getting something to drink, and he's in South Carolina, still getting something to drink, and then I'm out here in Tucson. So this is the Daily Gun Show. We're on episode number 564. It's Thursday, so we usually talk about training, and since it's in the evening like this, we usually say if we start out the show with finding out if anything happened that was interesting during the day, or in any of those preliminary shows that's happened during the day.
The warm-up shows. I didn't see anything, but I was working all day, so I'm useless.
Cycle, anything up? Anything in your neck of the woods?
No, all our bad stuff happened like yesterday, and I didn't make the show yesterday.
Bad stuff like legislation-wise.
Oh yeah, the legislature passed the bump stock ban, which also has the very open-ended language about anything that's a rate-altering device, which I guess includes fingers, belt loops, rubber bands, pens, all that kind of stuff. Still got to go to the Senate, but since we're a blue state, I don't have any delusions about what's going to happen.
So that means Jerry Mikulek is also banned in that state because of his fingers?
We would have to have him killed at the border, apparently.
Oh, man, that's rough.
So that was the bad stuff from and one of our Democratic legislators stood up at a Democratic National Committee meeting, our Democratic Committee meeting, and said that she thought the laws were bogus, and she basically got incredibly attacked by all the rest of the people in the Democratic Party. They just basically tore her a new one. It was very sad.
So did she swap her party as of today, or?
Nope, I think she's fighting from within, so doing the best she can. At least she had the guts to stand up and say what she thought was right.
Yeah, very cool. Who was that? You know who that was by any chance? Like a name?
I would have to go look it up again. I'm not a follower of Democratic people.
Did you hear what happened in New York today?
No, I don't believe so.
Apparently, New York DFS basically made it illegal to have the NRA's carry guard insurance. Not kidding.
How can that possibly be legal?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
It was a Breitbart article. I was talking about it with Sarge earlier today, but apparently it's the Department of Financial Services or something said that it was illegal. And I'm like, what? How is having insurance illegal? Let me see if I can pull up the article so I can.
Well, it is true that each state has its own insurance commission, because I used to be in the insurance industry. though much as I hate to admit it. And each state has its own insurance commission, and they can decide who's legal to sell insurance and who's not legal to insurance in the state.
Yeah. Here it is. I'll link in the side chat here for you guys. But I saw that, and I was just like, you'd think they'd want to have people having insurance to whatnot, but obviously
maybe
not.
It makes you more of a killer because you're like, oh, I got insurance.
Apparently,
no, they don't want you to have the wherewithal to fight them in court.
Right. That's what that is. Okay. But yeah, there's the link right there. Let me see if I can post that on the Gun Channel side. You guys check that out.
So their policies will cancel over the next week and a half.
Yeah, anybody that's got insurance already in New York, their policy's getting canceled.
Wow.
How messed up is that?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, so what's their reason? Does it say here?
They're just trying to find a reason just to say no.
Well, yeah, but
And
what is your reason that you're giving? You know what I mean? Like, what stupid little...
Well, okay, the New York Department of Financial Services says such insurance is illegal. DFS claims a carry guard policy offers a coverage even if gun owners were to be found to have broken the law, used unreasonable force, or engaged in, and this is in quotes, intentional wrongdoing.
That's not true.
I know it's not true, but as I said, they're just looking for an excuse instead of actually, trying to uphold the law. They're trying to use an excuse to perverse the law in their favor. So I saw this and I was very disappointed with it. So
yeah, it's very I mean, is this China or America?
News article though that I'm looking at is like, it's a title, the picture of a revolver. It's a sentence, or it's another subtitle. It's a sentence, and then it's 4 paragraphs, and then it's a giant paragraph of the qualifications of the author. And those 4 paragraphs are each either a sentence or 2 sentences long. So it's literally like 12 sentences.
They are referencing a New York newspaper, which went into it a little more detail, but it's only, twice as long.
Yeah, so we're not talking about a lot of insight here. We're just talking about a brief synopsis of what's going on, but it definitely has in quotes liability insurance for owners. Wait, where's this? In quotes, coverage even if owners were to be found to have broken the law, used unreasonable force, or engaged in intentional wrongdoing. It's ridiculous. It's inflammatory.
I know.
I'm inflamed.
I am so riled up. I want to go to New York and start yelling "shall not be infringed," but then I might be arrested for being a conservative or a libertarian. I really don't want to go to New York. The same amount of why I don't want to go to California either. So
California's the best state in the United States.
What screen's doing? Oh, I shouldn't click on there.
Wow.
Inception. There you go. Or the Matrix, one of the two.
It does when I'm not talking, though, how you get all those squares. Somebody will say something and then watch my screen. Okay, or don't say anything and then we'll just have dead air. So anyway, my screen's being weak. I don't know if I'm connected, but today's Thursday. We're talking about training. Any training topics out there, throw them out. We're broadcasting over on YouTube, of course. Simulcasting over on gunchannels.com. We have a Discord as well. And we're not paying attention to that right now. So any training going on in your neck of the woods or in your futures?
I kind of wonder what people think about. I hear a lot of people talk about dry fire training and like their own living rooms and stuff like that. And I've never really felt very comfortable with that. I wonder what the other folks around here thought about that.
What about Night Strike?
I looked at getting some of that dry. Rick has it. It's that dry fire laser kit where you put a modified snap cap that has a laser in it in your gun, and you practice dry firing. And you could also do a kind of pseudo range in your living room. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm thinking about maybe getting one of those kits because, I don't have to spend as much money on ammo if I want to just do simulate training.
Those things are very. And isn't it called the laser light?
Something like that, yeah.
I think I've seen one that has its own little target, and then one that uses like your iPhone or your whatever, maybe your whatever Androids are. Have you guys used either of those?
Wait, what are we talking about? You're using your iPhone as a target?
No. Have you seen that thing? It's like that laser light thing where you use some kind of whatever, and then you like shoot at your iPad maybe, and then it's like an interactive target.
So you're saying it uses your iPad as a target?
Yeah, well, I think it's iPad or I think it's Apple device, but maybe the other two.
I think it's called iTarget.
Yeah, I don't know how it would use an iPad unless an iPad can understand laser pointed at it. Is that a thing?
The eyesight reads infrared, so it might have something to do with that.
Interesting. So I'm not seeing that. Laser Light is a company, right? In Cottonwood, Arizona, I think. So if we're talking about Laser Light specifically, then that's a company, and they do make like aiming devices for firearms, and then training or bore sighting type of lasers. And they do have targets, but there's other brands out there. There's other companies that make combos like that.
A side chat. That's what I was looking at getting. It's supposed to be a kit so you could dry fire train at home without having to worry about shooting a hole through your living room. And I thought that's pretty cool. I know Rick has it.
iTarget Pro. Yeah, this is that thing.
Yeah. So I was looking at getting it because it helps, dry fire train. So.
Oh, I'm muted. I don't think you shoot at the iPhone or whatever. I think this exists, but it's creating simulated bullet holes where your laser hit on this target over here.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
So it's a little bit different. So it's the laser module is the same dimensions, I'm assuming, as the cartridge, so that's similar to like the laser light. But then instead of shooting a screen that comes back and tells you with some interface or whatever, it comes back and lights up where your targets, where your hits were. This is using an interface with the phone. It gives you a score and everything.
Right.
I'm wondering if this is it just looking at this target? So if you put some other piece of paper, like let's say you put Close Tactical's target of the month up here, and this phone is taking a picture of that, then you're still going to see those bullet holes, but this time on Ghost Tactical's thing?
Yes.
Okay, well, that'd be kind of neat. How much is this gizmo?
I haven't looked to see how much it was yet. I've been looking at it right now.
So it looks like you put that thing in your iPhone.
$90.
$90. It's in different calibers. They've got it for 9mm, 380, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP, 38 Special, 357 SIG, and 223 and 556. So.
What was that?
That was me.
Text message, most likely.
Yeah, so $90. Stupid 9mm is the first choice, but the real calibers are under.
Well, because a lot of times people that shoot 9mm can't figure out what these little thingies mean, so they have to have it.
Oh,
Right.
they do the easy one.
Yeah.
They don't get
And they have to use only, you know, Glock branded approved.
So this looks like something that maybe you should give them a call and say, hey, I could review that for you.
Right. I need a T&E copy.
I kind of want one.
I do too. So I'm looking at getting that. So $90 is a little steep. Maybe I can find one on eBay or something.
It's chump change. Make it rain, eye targets.
Make it rain. There you go.
All right, so training. I mean, I feel like we solved everyone's training woes. And now everyone's going to go buy an eye target. So you can get the address of where to send the check, people who make eye target. So we have a second segment. I don't really know what it is. But before we do that, we feature a channel of the day. Today it is potatoes and lead. So potatoes is a joy to everybody's heart, I would say. Sometimes he has a lobby. He's most often found in lobbies. But yeah, he's a cool guy. So check out his channel. His URL says something about a panda, so it's kind of cool. We'll have to know the story behind that later. But yeah, potatoes. Anyone else have lovely words to say about potatoes?
No.
I've seen him a few times as a guest on people's chats. He seems to be a pretty interesting guy.
When he's actually there for the conversation, he's a great conversationalist.
Yeah.
I
All right.
didn't know that he exists.
All right, well, that's pretty good.
Although I've never seen him in person, so I'm just guessing.
So he might not exist. We don't know yet.
The voice of him exists. And there's his YouTube channel. And like you said, it's got panda and some numbers and letters, which a robot could obviously do as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You mean a robot?
A little bit.
So there's Clover. It looks like Clover's jumping in on the YouTube side. I don't know, because he doesn't like the gun channel side, I guess, which is better. But it's probably done all right.
Raw. Well, all right, so segment number 2 is NRA. So who's there? What's going on?
Does anybody know? I don't think anybody's checked in yet. Let's go look at the main page of Gun Channel, see if anybody's said hey or started a channel or some kind of an event from there.
Yeah, some kind of a something.
Nope, nothing.
All right, well, so is Trump speaking or Trump's not speaking or what?
I believe he is, from what I understand.
Wow, what a treat. I totally would have put a lot more effort into going had I known that.
Well, we talked about that the other day in the cave, maybe, and I asked the question to people before. So you're at the NRA convention.
Yeah, you asked me this, and I had a very inappropriate response.
Right, so it'll be a little more respectful now, a little less vulgar. So you're in the NRA convention, minding your business. Maybe you're getting a drink of water or something. And then there's a little commotion, a door opens. You're in this long hallway, and all of a sudden you're in this hallway. You're alone with the President of the United States. There's no Secret Service around. And he's like, hey, which way do I get back in there from? What do you say to the President of the United States? Night strike.
Traitor.
Oh my God, that's what you're gonna say to the President of the United States. Opportunity to talk.
Didn't even offer a handy.
Oh, okay. Shall not be infringed.
All right.
There you go.
Cycle.
Well, I mean, I would be interested in understanding two things. The first one was, why did you bomb Syria when you know the same exact bullshit lies have been told about Assad and all that multiple times, and every time we think that Assad used chemical weapons against his people, it was proven after the fact that it wasn't him at all. And the second thing I would ask him is, why are you all, balls to the wall on bump stock ban? What's the rationale behind that?
In that
So
order?
basically, yeah, I think so. Well, I think Syria is much because people are actually dying. So I think Syria is a little bit more important than the bump stock ban, where it's just pissing off a lot of us guys.
So
But nobody's actually dying.
on an international topic and then ask a favor or ask them to justify a position on something that's Second Amendment. I'm just saying, I think it ain't it ain't going down with sugar. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, I gave you my explanation. I mean, people actually dying are more important to me than we have the opportunity to take control of the other situation. We can get rid of these people that are making these shitty laws. We can decide to revolt, whatever we need to do. But those folks out there that are having the bombs dropped on them, they don't have any recourse.
All right, Angelina.
I would say concealed carry for everybody. Make that like a national, straight thing. And then I'd also say, hey, I made this patch of you. Can you take a picture with it so I can post it on my Instagram to sell some more? And then hand job. What?
Well, luckily I don't have to answer the question. I just have to ask it.
So she would appeal to his entrepreneurial side, or
I feel like he would be like, "Fuck yes, I will," because you know what? That's the hustle, young lady. And I'd be like, "Yep, I voted for you. I'll vote for you again." And I have a Trump bobblehead on my nightstand.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for the laughs. All right, so G-Webs, what'd you say?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I've just been asking people.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Well, so that was that'll be our second segment. Was would you or would you not
ask Trump?
Give Trump an HJ? So let's roll into my personal favorite gun shop of the day.
All right, since we have guests, let's we've asked Cycle before, so looks like Clover jumped in. You're in Dallas?
Yeah, I've been here, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Oh, okay. Have a good trip, hopefully?
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. Tomorrow, by all accounts, from what I hear up here, is going to be pretty crazy.
How's that?
Well, Trump is supposed to be coming through downtown about noon, and they're talking about all the Secret Service blocking things off for the motorcade, all that good stuff. And then the protesters, the local news and stuff here are talking about potential protesters, possibly in the thousands of protesters in that area. So, it's been interesting.
Interesting, yeah. So they made a pretty good opportunity there. Dallas? Is it something where you're familiar enough with the streets where you can just navigate around whatever blockages and things, or is it a pain in the butt?
No, I'm not familiar enough.
Right on. So we were just asking, you get stuck in you're minding your business in a hallway, getting a drink of water or something. All of a sudden, Trump's in the hallway with you. You got a minute with him, no Secret Service, no crowds or nothing. What do you say to Trump?
I don't know. First, I might ask, is it, is the job what he expected? I'd also like to know, if you could ask, if it's one of them things to where if you were guaranteed to be given an answer, I would ask him what deal he cut with Ted Cruz, because I still think that's something that went down. And then one of the obvious things on the Pro 2A side is going to be, his remark about we're not going to pass. If we pass one new regulation, we got to get rid of two. That type thing, and that really hasn't happened. So.
Asking him what if he thinks the job is everything expected. That's an interesting one to start him off. I bet you he'd be the kind of guy that would want to, he'd extrapolate on that. Probably appreciate.
Well, I don't. I think you said something the other night about this scenario, and you were talking about how you don't want to just hit him with a curveball right up front. Lob one at him first, and I guess if you only get one question, then yeah, fire away. But if it's a situation where you may have time to ask a couple, maybe throw him a softball first and then hit him with the hard stuff.
I think we were about to go to a gun shop today, and nice strike. That should give you some time. You're on the spot. What's your favorite gun shop?
Can I make a plug for PSA? They're the gun shop I go to the most frequently.
Kind of figured that's what was going to happen.
I don't actually have an image of it right now. I have to go to my Instagram to find it. So unprofessional.
Well, unlike everybody else, you actually get to go to PSA, correct?
Yeah. They're like a Dick's Sporting Goods, but better because they're not run by liberals.
Well, it don't take much. Yeah.
No, but the owner and founder of Palmetto State Armory is a veteran himself, so I don't think he'd go that route. He's even gone on record stating that too. So good for that. What's my Instagram? There it is.
I would like to go there. It seems like a cool place.
There we go. That's the one I go to most frequently. It's in Somerville, South Carolina. I can give you the address if you want the address. But they've got everything to, apparel. Like if you need 511 tactical pants, they've got it. If you want a Palmetto State Armory shirt, they've got it. You need reloading equipment, they have it. You need ammo, guns, AR parts. They've got everything, quite literally.
Now, is that their only location, or do they have other places around the country?
They only have retail locations in South Carolina. So if you want the one that's the online stuff, that's just one of their warehouses. Their online shop is their large warehouse in the middle of Columbia.
You sure they don't have one near Tennessee?
It may be.
I could have swore I stopped at a Palmetto State Armory when I was coming back from watching the eclipse in Tennessee.
They don't have them in Tennessee. No, it might have gone through Greenville. I know they got one in Greenville. They've got one in Mount Pleasant. That's on the other side of Charleston. They've got them spread out all over South Carolina. So, that's the one I go to. They also have lots of fishing and hunting supplies too. So if you're big into fishing, you need like a kayak or something, they sell it too. Not kidding. It's ridiculous.
So like a Bass Pro?
It's more like a Bass Pro, but as well, excluding the Mount Pleasant location, almost every other Palmetto State Armory also has an indoor gun range. So it's usually in the back of the store. Sometimes it'll be on the back left, the back right, or like just straight back middle. But they have an indoor gun range. This one in particular is where I went and took my CCW course, and their range is awesome. They've got two separate indoor ranges, one for pistol and one for rifle. But normally they won't let you fire anything larger than a 30 caliber in in the range. They're normally rated for anything, so basically 308 or something, another caliber that's in 30 caliber is the largest caliber you're allowed to use in most of their indoor ranges. Just because
You mean rifle calibers, right?
rifle calibers, yeah.
And you could use a 45 ACP if you wanted to.
Right. 45 is fine.
It was handguns are always allowed, but it's rifles they limit.
Yeah, the rifles, you can't shoot any rifle caliber larger than 308. But yeah, this location is the Somerville location, and it is. Let's see, it's 366 East 5th North Street, Somerville, South Carolina 29483.
What store number was that?
I don't know, not Dano. They don't have store numbers.
So Palmetto is an interesting one. Somebody was saying leave it to Night Strike. A Patriot was saying leave it to Night Strike to promote a big box. It's kind of a big box in a way because they are large stores like Night Strike, saying they have a lot of variety of selection or whatever, a lot of inventory, but and they're online and they have a big influence online. But I would say, like Night Strike said, they're a gun shop that got bigger as opposed to a big sporting goods store that added firearms to their line. So I think they're interested. They're unique in that respect to some extent, and they also are very friendly to creators out there. They have the affiliate type of system. We have a link on the main page of Gun Channels for Palmetto. So they are, as far as big box stores, at least as two-way friendly as they get.
Yeah.
So if I was to go there, would I find like pallets like loaded with guns and boxes and that kind of stuff?
You wouldn't find pallets. They'd have them. They literally have entire walls from one end of the store to the other of the guns just being on one of those wood racks where they're just resting, laying up against the wall. It's cool.
I need to go to a PSA store. It sounds pretty cool.
I mean, I'm going to try and check with the manager and see if he'll let me just do a walkthrough one of these days and actually give you a good idea of what it looks like from the inside. So as soon as I can get him to write off on that and say that's okay for me to do that, I will go ahead and do a video and throw that up on the Night Strike 1 channel.
Now, do they have NFA items at their shooting range?
I don't know. I think I did see an Uzi there.
Yeah, I would think anything 9mm like subguns. I would think they would have subguns.
I think I saw an Uzi there, but I think that was just an SBR because it had the collapsible stock. But it had the short barrel. So it might have just been an SBR.
I went back in my notes, and it was actually a Buds that I went to in Tennessee. And that's why I asked about the pallets, because these guys literally had pallets like full of ARs and boxes and pallets full of ammo cases and cans and bulk ammo, and it was just goddamn amazing. And they again also had a huge range, and you could actually rent NFA submachine guns.
The only NFA item I think that was there was just when I was in there at that point. They just had like an SBR Uzi that had the collapsible stock. That was it.
Cool.
But even that was cool to see, just because right behind the counter where the range is, it was like right there in the middle of the wall, hanging off of one of those wall displays. It's great.
Well, I'm glad you screen share, but it would have been nice if you actually clicked on another image during that whole time.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll do it over. So that was our gun shop of the day. Thanks. We try to feature a new shop every single day. Now I guess we could do a gun movie. Let's throw Clover on the spot. What's the last gun movie you saw?
I watch a lot of movies. That's Give me just a minute. What was that was on the other day? It was an older movie.
Black and white old?
No, it wasn't black and white old, but it was an older one.
1980s old.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
1980s is an old Jesus.
Tango and Cash. It was Tango and Cash. That's what it was.
So it was 1980s. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was Tango and Cash. That's what it was.
I've seen it, but it's probably been a while. So give us the rundown of that one.
Basically, it's
Sylvester Stallone and somebody.
Stallone and Kurt Russell. Stallone is like the, straight cop, and Russell's like the wiry cop, the loose cannon type guy. And they end up on the same case, and they get framed, and basically end up going to and it was Jack Palance is the villain, right?
Yeah, Jack Palance, yeah.
And anyway, they end up getting framed and sent to prison, and of course they try to murder him in prison, all that good stuff, and they break out and go after him.
Stallone has the hot daughter in that one.
Yeah, Terry Hatcher. That was Terry Hatcher, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I go to prison, they try to murder me.
One cool thing that talk about guns on that is one of the cool things, and I believe it's Kurt Russell's character at the very first when they're going in for the bust, that kind of goes wrong, and sets them up. They're both in this building, and they both turn the corner, and they're like draw down on each other. And the revolver I think it's a revolver that Kurt Russell has is got this big, huge red dot on it. It's like a shoebox sitting on top of it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the original lasers were pretty big, and they were super cool back in the day. I remember when they were first. I think a couple of movies had those things. Cobra had one on one, and of course Terminator.
Oh yeah, they did.
Terminator, the battery is so big it's up in his jacket, and there's just a cord going down to it because they didn't want to put it on the gun.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that the one that was on this one, of course, this was used for movie purposes and not necessarily being realistic, because I don't remember seeing any cord coming off of it, but I believe it is a model that uses an external battery.
Well, those were good times. Should remember them fondly. So yeah, has anyone seen that?
I'm gonna look for the date on that.
Oh, absolutely.
1989.
I think that's the one that starts off with Stallone pulls over. Doesn't he pull over like a fuel truck?
No, he pulls. He drives past it, turns sideways, his little whatever convertible sideways in the middle of the road, jumps out with his little snub nose 38, and puts one through the windshield of the semi that's headed toward him.
No, I guess maybe I'm not thinking of the right movie, because I'm thinking that they were like he thought they were smuggling drugs or something. And he actually shoots the fuel truck, and instead of gas coming out, of course, it's
yeah. He does once he gets it pulled over. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Okay, so that happens really early in the movie.
Whatever. Yeah. That was after he gets it pulled over.
Pretty ballsy. I like that.
And Terry Hatcher. Sound like we had a bunch of Terry Hatcher fans. Wasn't she in Desperate Housewives?
Superman.
Yeah, she's Lois.
Yeah, she was one of the Lois characters before she went off the rails, drugs and stuff.
Oh, that explains a lot, actually.
Yeah. She was cute, though. I liked her as an actress, not because she was cute, because she actually acted pretty well.
Did you ever watch Desperate Housewives?
Say that again?
Desperate Housewives? Did you ever watch that show?
Desperate Housewives? No, I don't think so.
You should watch it. She's in it.
Oh.
Good show. I think it's on Hulu.
Enrique Sonora saying she was on Jag.
What?
Jag.
I don't remember that, but
Really? The gal that plays on The Good Witch was on Jag. Not to date myself too horribly badly. Could be, though.
Well,
I never watched Jag regularly, so you got me on that one.
1989 was Angelina even born when this movie came out?
Yeah, I was born. I was like 4 years old.
So I'm guessing you have not seen this movie.
Yeah, Enrique, I think you're thinking of Catherine Bell. Is the name of the hottie that was on Jag.
Hottie.
Oh, yeah, she was good looking. She still is, actually.
So Clover, how'd you like the movie? Thumbs?
I'll go two thumbs on Tango and Cash.
Thumbs.
I like the story. I like the story. It's good actors throughout.
Yeah, lots of action.
Moderate, yeah, really good action, especially the end. The whatever that SUV is in the end, that's bad to the bone. And the little quirky guy. Remember the little quirky guy? He's played in a bunch of different. He was like the geek master, like the.
Yeah, he was a CI or something, right?
Yeah. He was I can't remember the actor's name, but that weird-eyed little quirky dude that's played in so many movies.
Yeah, he played in Armageddon also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bug-eyed guy. Oh shit, I'm not going to be able to remember his name now.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But yes, he was very good. But I love he had the jacked up Jeep or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, it was some type of a modified SUV that was.
That thing was cool.
Like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or something, maybe.
Yeah, with like 40-inch tires on it. It was incredible.
Right. And GE miniguns, which is always fun.
Oh yeah.
So how many thumbs does that equate to, Cycle?
Oh, I definitely give it 2 thumbs. That's a hilarious movie to watch. It's a lot of fun, and the interaction between Russell and Stallone is really good. They actually did really well. Comedically, they did really well.
I'll have to give you that. They're definitely, at the time, too, they were both at the king of their stuff, and it was neat to see a movie where they collaborate like that and not, just have fun with it. Neither one of them were trying to impress anybody at that point. They were both, like, say, at the top, right?
Yeah, you got the impression they were not actually trying to one-up each other.
No, they were just having fun. They're like, hey, let's do a movie together.
Yeah.
Night Strike?
I'll give it 2 thumbs. I enjoyed Tango and Cash.
So many thumbs. All right, well, I'll give it 1. I mean, it's a good movie and everything, but I reserve my 2 for the best of the best. This one's okay. I mean, I would say if you have not seen it, it's worth watching it. I'm trying to remember if there's really anything from it that's lasted, like the I'll Be Back or, any of those kind of things from, remained in the lexicon or whatever, but it just maybe like it's one of the buddy cop ones and it's got its own flavor. So
yeah, I'd agree with you there.
So if the movie was Red Dawn or Contact, you'd give it 2 thumbs up, right?
No.
Steve in the Gun Channels chat says it was Steve Buscemi. That was the
that
goggle-eyed guy.
Who?
Steve Buscemi? Buscemi?
Buscemi?
Buscemi? I don't know. You got me. It's Italian, right?
He says
Garland Green from Con Air.
I think it's Buscemi. I mean, I'm not an expert. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our movie of the day. We try to feature a gun-related movie every day. It's one of the things that we do so that maybe if you're chatting with somebody or in one of the other chats or something, you have some ammo, pun intended. One of the other things we like to do is look at the calendar for the same reasons. If you're out at the range, out at the gun show or something, you have something to talk about. Just a little side note. I don't know what day it is for you. For me, it's still May 3rd. It's May 4th for some of you already. But on May 3rd, we started our gun website started on Facebook in 2009. So that was our stupid Facebook anniversary the other day. Or I guess today.
Happy Facebook anniversary.
I don't care at all, but I do put it in there just so we keep track of it. But today, the 2nd, yesterday, we did miss this one. Mauser was born. A lot of you like the model 1871 Mauser, and it was made by a dude named Mauser, and that he was born yesterday in 1834.
Well, Mauser.
Oh, look at this. We missed this one too on May 2nd. The Calling Forth Act which is the United States Congress, and this was from 1792. The United States Congress passes the Calling Forth Act, clarifying the procedures and circumstances under which the president can call the state militia into service, which helped end the Whiskey Rebellion. The Whiskey Rebellion, I believe, was the first time that George Washington, the first president, called up the national troops against itself, its own country, when they started putting a tax on whiskey. People didn't like that concept. So we immediately, as soon as the country started, we immediately started fighting ourselves. So that's why we have such a aversion to tyranny. And as Night Strike is fond of saying, don't like fucking infringements, right?
Right.
All right, so that was that one. And where did I put the link over here? We got our less gun related history coming up. This one will be May 4th, I guess, because this website's in New York. 1626. Who sold what for $24 in 1626? Anybody?
Louisiana Purchase, yes?
No, $24.
Oh, Manhattan.
Yep. American Indians sell Manhattan for $24 worth of cloth and buttons. 1776, Rhode Island declared independence from England. There you go. Rick, if you're listening.
Wussies.
Can he even do that? Can he even celebrate that? That's like a...
They only did it because everybody else was doing it. It was a Me Too moment for them.
Yeah, but he's English. Can he do that even though he lives in Rhode Island? That's got to be very difficult for him today. I'll think about Rick. Poor guy.
Well, his mom was English. His dad was American.
1927, a balloon, today in 1927, right, May 4th, 1927, a balloon soars over 40,000 feet for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what the kind of stuff they put in here. Man, and the rest of them are almost as boring. Here's one from 1970. Ohio National Guardsmen opened fire on student protesters at Kent State.
Oh, Kent State, yeah.
Killing 4, wounding 9.
4
So
dead
that's
in
part
Ohio.
of-
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Crosby,
One of my favorite songs.
So 1970, I was not yet alive. Anybody cycle? How little were you?
Yeah, I was around for that.
We're talking.
70, I probably was either just getting out of middle school or my first year of high school.
Oh, so you were aware of what was going on. How much tension was there before and during and after compared to, I mean, you couldn't have known from the 60s, but compared to the stuff that's happened since?
Well, no, because the late 60s, we had riots everywhere.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. So in the 70s, was this like, I guess, again, compared to like the riots we've had in 92 and then Ferguson and stuff, I mean...
I think the riots and stuff were worse, but the media wasn't as good or bad as the case may be. Because, you know, in the late 60s, early 70s, that's when people were going bullshit about Vietnam and stuff. I mean, if they'd had one more call up, I would have gone. You know, they had my number. I was 1A, and if they'd have called one more time, I would have been out there.
My dad missed the draft by a year.
Yeah, same thing. Because I got out of school early. I graduated at 17. So one more run, and I would have been slogging around in the, you know, tunnels and stuff.
You know what else today? The third is? Apparently it was the day MacArthur went on congressional hearings in 1951.
Or is that when he told him we ought to march on the Russians?
Yeah, because...
Or was that Patton?
No, this is MacArthur. It was because of what he said in Korea, that, you know, if the Chinese invade Korea, we might as well just, you know, bomb them with nukes.
Mm.
You know, and they took that as too extreme. And quite honestly, looking back, he was probably the sanest one out of the bunch.
Yeah.
If for the geeky people out there, May the 4th is Star Wars Day.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that, but yeah. And then the 5th will be one too, but yeah, tomorrow's the good one. Or wait, yeah, it's tomorrow. It's the good one. Anybody doing anything for that?
Probably watch
Well,
Star Wars.
I got some plans for NRA.
Gonna compare him to the Empire.
The Empire? No.
I'll probably do some fun questions or something walking around.
Wayne LaPierre is the Emperor. Palpatine.
Kind of looks like him, don't it? Put him in a
Wayne
robe.
Palpatine. Yeah, well, he's messed up, yeah.
Just say, are you with the Galactic Empire or the Rebel Alliance?
Well, what that makes it seem like that's the entire encompassing both sides of the whole spectrum when Bloomberg's the Empire.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you had to give it to one guy, that would be the guy.
I don't know. If you had to pick somebody that looked like Palpatine, that would be Soros, I think.
Either that or Chuck Schumer.
But the antis are the other side, where all the rebels trying to maybe he can be the NRA can be what's his name, Jar Jar. The incompetence, and maybe Sith.
Maybe.
Which
Right.
one's the gold guy and the little trash can? Those are the ones I know.
C-3PO and
R2D2?
Yeah, those are the good ones.
All right. Well, with that, I think we've covered all of our obligatory topics, the things we like to hit. We usually do a theme. We talked about training a bit today and featured potatoes. We talked about the gun movie, Tango Cash, and the gun shop was Palmetto State. But we've got a little bit of time here. I think we started a little bit late, and we got Clover in here. And you got the NRA show tomorrow, so you traveled quite a bit of ways to get to there. I think Jesmo is going to be there. Tardot's going to be there. Mr. Wright.
Yeah, it wasn't
Probably
that bad. Wasn't that bad for me? About 2.5, between 2.5 and 3 hours. It wasn't horrible.
Well, still
Um,
time to get there. You
yeah,
have to
as
gotta
as
go.
far as gun channels peoples go, tomorrow it looks like just me at this point. At some point tomorrow, Ghost should show up, and then I think Jelsma will show up, and then Tardot and Gunpowder, and who am I missing? Yeah, I guess Tardot and Gunpowder should be here Saturday. So we should have a pretty good crew Saturday anyway.
I didn't
And,
think you
and
could get
I-
anywhere in
Goder
Texas.
said he's gonna. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do what?
Michael. Say that again. Cycle. I
I
overtalked.
said I didn't think you could get anywhere in Texas in 2.5 hours.
Right?
You can
Yeah,
get 2/3 of the way through to New England in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's how close I actually live to DFW. But yeah.
Wow.
Yoder,
Yeah.
Texas. We'll be up there tomorrow, Clover. So
Oh,
if you-
sweet. Okay.
All right.
If you guys have a
Well,
way to text each other, or
I don't. Yeah.
You
The
can use-
Discord.
Yeah, I can't see the chat. So if he's because I'm on the stupid mobile, but if
Well,
he's out there in the
anytime.
chat,
use your gun
he can
channel
get.
cams and use your gun channel's messages, and you can text each other. That's
Well, I
easiest.
mean, he can go. Just my number's at the bottom of clovertech.com. Just
Oh, there you
send me a. If he's listening, just shoot me a message and say, "Hey, it's Yoder,"
There you
and
go.
then we'll
Well,
hook
let me
up.
ask you this:
some
do you
point.
guys, speaking of that, on your Instagrams, right? If you think about your Instagram and on that, what is it, the little house on the right, when you get to like look at your own profile, basically,
Yeah.
you can adjust that, and you have an item there to text. And then I don't know, some people may not realize that you're trying to contact somebody. Most of us have that. If we have that set up to text, you can
Huh.
use that way to contact us.
I didn't. I don't guess I realized that, but I'm not the savviest when it comes to Instagram either.
That's why I figured I'd throw that out there. So it's cool. So you guys sound like you got at least an awareness of who's showing up. Any plans to meet up at all, or
Yeah, Saturday, because that seems to be the day most everybody will be here. So Saturday, once it's we'll hook up. I'm sure throughout the day at some point,
do me a
and
favor,
then
you get one of
we
those.
plan on.
Everybody get one of those pictures where you stick your hands together with a G from NRA.
If hopefully if everybody's got one. If not, we'll have to figure something out. But yeah,
Bring some extra ones with you.
so like a dummy dum dum, I didn't bring my extras. I've got 2 or 3
Aw.
extras, and I didn't bring them. So I've got my one, but that's it. But yeah, we'll get something, and then once we get out of there Saturday, then the plan is to hang out somewhere and eat or do something, together, kind of as a group, because we're not all going to be staying for Sunday. I don't have a place to stay Saturday night. I can't stay with family here because they're actually leaving town Saturday. So, and I don't have the money to rent a room or anything either. So, I may have to come home. I may not be able to stay for Sunday, but I think Jels was that way. I think he has to get back and everything.
Anyway. Underpass, right? Like the little road that goes underneath the interstate or something. Those underpasses can be kind of warm. You just bundle up a bunch of newspapers and then
hang out with the hobos. Yeah.
Yeah, just kick the trolls out, no problem.
I could go over to Fort Worth and just sleep amongst a bunch of cattle. Something. Be all right.
And everybody in my family has a key to my house, so I have to tell you.
Well, I don't know who else has a room. If somebody is getting a room or something Saturday night, then I mean maybe I can, split it, or they can switch with a double, or I don't know. I'm going to try to figure something out, possibly to be able to stay.
Yeah, see if they got a pull-out couch.
Yeah, something. And then I can pay them back when I get home or do something.
So in other words, it sounds like you're a little flexible. You're open. You just have to kind of play it by ear, see what happens, and then maybe you'll be there Sunday. But more than likely, Sunday will be anyway. It's not like the other shows where people start taking down on Sunday. Like sometimes even shot people start to take apart their boots and shit on the last day. NRA is not like that, from my experience. People are there for the duration.
Cool. Well, what my concern was, since Trump decided to, whatever, I wish he would have just stayed in Mar-a-Lago, right? But since he's decided that, he's got to try to make some kind of point and come, then that really throws a kink in tomorrow, I think, with all of that. And so I was looking forward to tomorrow being a fairly easy day, it being a Friday, and probably not a lot of general public being there, right? So you got to figure Saturday is going to be pretty crazy for general public, which leaves Sunday. And I wasn't planning on this. I had made all my plans and whatever prior to Trump deciding he was coming. So now that Trump's coming, I think Sunday would probably be an optimal day.
Well, you should send him a very terse tweet saying he screwed you up.
Stay home, Jagwagon. Yeah.
Damn it.
What do you think about trying to cover the coverage, cover the whatever protest? Sounds like there's going to be some kind of organized protest. Cover that aspect of it, or is that going to be like if it's opportune?
If there's a possibility, sure.
I would be really interested in seeing actual normal footage.
And it's going to be interesting too, because we all know that this stuff gets hyped up, and they say, "Oh, there's going to be thousands of people there," and there's like 20, right? So it's going to be interesting to have eyes actually on the ground here, and when the news is spitting out there was thousands of protesters in Dallas, we can tell you, no, it wasn't. It wasn't even 100. It was a few kids standing on a street corner. So
yeah.
But
when we were out there,
it's a double protest. It's a double protest situation now with Trump, though. But you got to realize too, it's the Trump protesters and the anti-gun element. So that's going to be interesting too. It's going to be interesting too to see how those two, if they play together at all, or if they're in separate areas, or how they handle it. So it's definitely, I think, going to be an interesting day tomorrow, regardless. We may not get anything done, creator-wise, content-wise, whatever, but it's definitely going to be an interesting experience, I think. What is I had said something to Gunpowder last night, G, about, because she was talking about TARDOT having to work, and would it be, did I think it would be worth her time, because she would have the kids, but of course that's okay, to have the kids. Would it be worth her, time or whatever to go there and kind of get the press passes and get things settled? And what is the swag situation like at NRA in the past, or when you went?
You mean like specifically for press, like the press room, or are you talking like just at the tables as you walk around the
Like
event?
at the tables as you walk around. Yeah. Is it similar to Shot with swag?
No, it's totally different. So
Okay.
to some extent, and it's always different year to year, right? So
Sure.
if it's
Yeah.
a boom year, they're going to have more stuff out. If they're looking for sales, maybe more.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're going to have more stuff out because it's trying to get the regular population or whatever, not just like a gun shop. What's the point of giving a gun shop owner a keychain? Some of them are going to value that, but people just walking by, they want that stuff. That's like trick or treat, right? They definitely want all the swag they can get. So they know that people appreciate the swag a lot more at NRA, but they also know that it's like trick or treat and everybody's super greedy and they're going to run around grabbing handfuls. So they'll ration it in their bowls. You know how they have like trick or treat candy bowls?
Sure.
So ration it in those bowls, but you can always ask. So don't forget to ask. Always ask.
Yeah.
Ask. And if you got something to trade, then you're always better off, right? Especially with a patch guy or something. Whoever their patch guy is, or if it's like that kind of thing, you can say like, here, do you want to trade? Or here's my patch. Thanks for the interview. Right. And then if they're a patch guy, they're going to be like, oh, let me get you one of mine, even if they're out. You know what I mean? They're never out. So you know what I'm saying? There's some point where they're going to be like, hey, we're out, wink, wink. Only VIP get these from now on. So it's always worth asking. But
there's at least 30,000 stickers at NRA.
Cool. What did you say?
Yeah, I mean, because SHOT Show is the business elite and the media. And NRA is just the unwashed masses, so
it's the customers.
I can see that it's a different, it's they're going to handle them different.
It's the customers. Right. So that's what they make swag for. That's what they make stickers and decals and stuff for. Keychains and stuff is for them people. So that's what they're there for, and they're going to be handing that stuff out. They may have like somebody standing there handing it out so that it gets rationed. But that's the thing. Depends on the year. Some years I've been there and it is just like bowls and bowls because they're desperate to have people come over and talk to them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so yeah.
Well, what I was curious about if she didn't have Tardot, I mean, if she does have the kids, what I told her is depending on the swag situation, it might be advantageous for her to go with the kids and just walk around and try to soak up a little swag, for giveaways and whatnot. And at least get something done, and then they don't really have to worry about that aspect of things on Saturday when they're there together without the kids.
I could see grabbing stuff out of bins being a super fun thing for kids. Yeah. So it is open for kids?
Yeah, as far as I don't think there's an age limit.
That's a family thing, right?
Yeah, it said bring your family or something. When it said.
I think it says bring your families, but not your little babies or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Usually they don't want little babies in giant conventions.
Wonder what you classify as a little baby, not able to walk yet, or
in some kind of cart and stuff because of the mad panic. If there's something in there, I don't think most people want babies in those kind of things. I don't know, maybe.
So no strollers, basically.
All right. So what's going on gun channels tomorrow?
We're going to start doing early watches on the more regular, so we should be getting up and doing that. Hopefully Jimmy will be in there. It sounds like Tony's feeling better, so he'll be in there. Anybody else that's interested in jumping in, kind of structuring that show to work with the people over on the Early Watch Nation, people putting in the real effort on paying attention to what's going on in their states and work on a way to get that automated so that whatever their efforts are get reflected over on like Every Second Matters so that we have one place to point people to a scoreboard, something that keeps track of all the different initiatives and antis infringements going out there. And that'll be, looks like 10 a.m. Eastern. And then after that, Knives usually runs his show. He actually told me the times he tries to run it. I think 8 a.m. his time, he turns it on. So Knives runs his show. Then it'll be the Fridays lineup. Are we missing anything on the schedule right now? We got Right of the People with Budget. We got Jelsma and
Daily Gun Show.
No, Clover, and then Edge, and then the Daily Gun Show.
sounds right.
For some reason, I thought there's another one, and I was thinking Sarge.
Well, I don't. Does Sarge go on Thursday or Friday? I don't.
He's got a Thursday
know.
show, but I thought there was.
Okay.
Was it Night Strike? Were you doing a Friday show? Evie
He
does
does.
one occasionally.
Friday Night Strike, right?
I do the Friday Night Strike, but I don't do it on gun channels. It's just strictly just for the YouTubers.
Oh, then nobody gives a shit about that.
Oh.
So then,
Thanks.
Daily Gun Show. Why the hell would you even do anything just on YouTube?
Right.
Because people show up to chat and hang out. Whereas sometimes if I do it on gun channels and whatnot, sometimes I get just like Travis P11 and like Gizzard Gary. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, past performance dictates future efforts. Gotcha. So we'll be back here tomorrow for the last week or last show of the week, and that's always the frustrating one because nobody shows up as far as guests or as far as the regular host. So if you'd like to jump in, let us know. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit unique because you guys are all going to be at NRA. So,
I can try to jump in. I mean, we're talking. That's what 11 o'clock here. So
right on. So as far as
I don't want to inconvenience my family by rolling into here at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, so my plans are to be back here by 10 o'clock or so at the latest. My time.
okay, well,
So are you not doing a Firearms Friday tomorrow?
that's what I was gonna
It kind of depends on the way things go because I mean it may take hours literally to get from with the whole Trump thing and all of that from there back to here. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. You just have to figure out like actual commutes and what people are going to be doing tomorrow and when you're leaving.
yeah,
there.
because
Well, if
after
the Secret
hours I
Service
didn't
has
even
someone
get
locked up or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even get here. Literally, when I jumped on, I had been here long enough to come in, say hi, and walk up to the room. So, after hours went to pot quick tonight. So probably the Friday show will be the same way. I mean, I'll go live at some point tomorrow, I'm sure, but and then that'll just kind of have to suffice, maybe, depending on what happens. And it may not be a big deal. Who knows? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Show prepper.
Angelina, you didn't wait until next week. You went ahead and released all your new patches today.
I did.
Okay.
So
Greedy?
how many were there? 4, 5, 3?
Is it greed?
Yeah, it's just greed. No, I just figure, get them out there because people were asking about them. So, the blue waffle, what the hell else do we do? The Gonzalez flag thing, and those 2 AR-15 joiner dies that were designed in the cave. So I guess I got to give Sneggy one. Those are all up for sale now, as well as the embroidered fuck around and find out Gadsden flag. So those will be those are on the site. They might sell out, they might not, I don't know. And yeah, they're still shipping even though I will be gone.
Right on. So you sounded like we talked a little bit before the chat. You sound like you're pretty much on track for heading out on schedule for your month-long tour of the U.S.
Yep, things are looking good for that. So, yeah. So the retail store isn't closed; it'll be open and shipping.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you'll be taking pictures of the various patches in front of the various things you see along the way.
Yeah, I mean, some things are a little relevant to things that I think I'll be seeing. So, you might see some cool content with that. I'll post some pictures and stuff. I guess if anyone's found my personal Instagram account, you can follow that and see some more if you care what I'm doing. But if not, I'll be back in June, I guess.
Speaking of what's going on after the show, Smeggy's not around. He's abandoned us again. So I'm guessing there's going to be no cave.
I don't know.
So if anybody out there has an idea, let us know on the Gun Channel side, and then we'll be able to let people know on the YouTube side. Otherwise,
Maybe I'll do a thing.
What?
I might do a thing, but we don't know yet.
Oh, one of them girl caves.
Girl caves. So, nail polish and hair curlers or something will be our topic.
Could have one for Clover and them so that they can pack better next time.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up, right?
Yes. Or wait, all about shopping in Dallas. I was going to say that, but I was also going to say thanks to everybody who joined us tonight. We have 29 people watching now. At the end of the show, we went a little bit over an hour. Our goal is to do an hour-long conversation about guns. We're kind of reformatting the show here in the last bit. Appreciate everybody that stuck with us. I'm going to continue to keep doing things as possible, and you'll see some changes. Unfortunately, the resources are getting strained, but we'll continue to do what we can do. Again, appreciate the guys that jumped into the show tonight to guest host Night Strike. Anything coming up or going on?
Not just keep an eye out on GunTube for new content.
Yeah, really big in GunTube, man. I'm looking forward to what you develop that into. But if anything, I mean, what you've got now is any indication of where it's going to go, it's going to be awesome. So anybody that's got any kind of interest in continuing on with creating gun content, these new platforms are the place to go. There's no Hickok on these new platforms. You can be the Hickok.
I'm hoping we can start soon also simulcasting on GunTube because the ability is out there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we already tested it the other day. I mean, it's flawless. So I'm looking forward. I'm chopping at the bit. We will definitely be the first to pull off the stupid YouTube. Cycle, anything coming up or going on?
Nope. I got a couple more vids I got to drop from the Tulsa trip, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. I'm glad you mentioned the Tulsa trip because I'm going to go over to Gun Channels and let's talk about that for a bit. We got a Ghost in here. Can you see the screen, Ghost? Are you on a phone? I'm saying Ghost. Clover, can you see the screen?
That's what I'm saying. Get us mixed up. Yeah, I mean, I can see if you screen share or whatever, I'm able to see. Yeah.
Right on. So we got the Wanamaker channel, right? So looks like Ellis has a thing going. So we'll end 15 minutes later. Ellis will end because that's his MO. No, I'm just kidding. He'll have a chat going for a bit. So we have a Wanamaker channel, and I've set it up so that the main page is the overview, like where a lot of us are familiar with our channel, so that we can have a video and the chat below it. But we do have other elements, other tools and resources on the channels. One of them is the photos area. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been adding some albums, and I want to encourage everyone to either add to the existing albums or feel free to make another album for your own stuff. And that way we can start to accumulate some of the photographs from the show. There's also a video section to kind of prime the pump. I posted one from, who is this? Tardot, I think, and then this one from Clover. So, or this is Travis's one, I guess, and this one from Clover. But anybody who wants, go in and just click add video, and you can pull them over. You're not hosting them here on Gun Channels, but you're linking to your YouTube one. Sure. Title description, if you want to throw tags in there. And then just the URL, and that starts to create, again, an archive of videos from the show. And then if anybody who doesn't want to take the time, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and do it. I just didn't want to do it because what will happen is they'll say posted by. So this is Clover's video, but it says posted by me, and I don't want that to be confusing for anybody who wants to keep their brand identity or whatever. So feel free to take the opportunity and do that. Or if, like I say, you're not interested, just let me know, and I'll be happy to put whatever videos you've added to a playlist over on YouTube or on whatever platform you're hosting your stuff.
Makes me wonder in the videos, wonder what happens if you share a playlist instead of a video.
Well, I don't have a feature to take a playlist from YouTube, so it'll be individual videos.
Okay, so it won't accept the link, what you're saying?
I don't believe so, but it wouldn't accomplish the same goal. The goal is to do two things. One is to put some information here that a human being might be interested in watching. So a playlist, I guess, would kind of accomplish it, but then it would take them to YouTube, and I don't really care about promoting YouTube.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
What we're trying to do is on the other side of this whole coin, is the matrix side, the part that is the nuts and bolts of the internet, and the way that browsers and spiders and search engines rank things is one of the characteristics they'll use is the interrelationships between things. So I'd like to see more and more keywords over here and more links out, and then more and more opportunities for someone to come along and make a comment like, hey, this is a great video. Like, you did such great work on this. You can hear it well, and maybe ask a question. And that is the kind of stuff that grows not just gun channels, but it makes people, actually have a conversation about this stuff, and gives the person who created the video a little bit more inspiration to keep making them, and gives people more, insight as to what's going on. So anyway, we've got the photos and the videos. That's pretty obvious. There's a members area here. I've added everyone who I can remember, but there was 34 of us. So please let me know who we've missed. But we've got the members there. And again, going forward, when we do things like this, I'm going to set one of these up for NRA now. And then you guys that go to NRA will be members. Again, you'll have a place where you can put photos and videos. And this way it can help enhance your projects wherever they are. But it can also accumulate some stuff that's easy for people to find here on Gun Channels.
Yeah, and it builds a portfolio of what Gun Channels has been a part of, and all of that too. So that's
exactly.
I'm working on a project that is pertaining to this. Before we had talked about making a channel on GunTube and putting a lot of the videos from the booths that were there on that channel for Wanamaker. And I'm working on that, but I need some people that have taken videos there to contact me and tell me which videos they'd like me to use for that.
All right, we'll focus on
care.
that here. So to
whatever you want.
Over on Gun Channels, we've got a discussion area there as well. And Cycle, thanks for using it. You've already used the section to relay some of the information for me on the mileage and stuff. And then I see that Ohio posted something here as well. Finally, we have a notes section, and that's where I've posted the little spreadsheet thing that I've got going to keep track of mileage. So far we know that, and I don't have everybody in here. Altogether, though, we've traveled 21,000 miles. Almost, we'll probably get to closer to 30,000 miles by the time we have everybody in here. And we used almost 1,000 gallons of gas to do that. So anyway, that's where I stuck that. And that way we can use this as a project both to, again, archive everything that we all did for Wanamaker. And when we explain what we did to Wanamaker, not only can we point them here, but we can use this as our notes. We can quickly get to everybody's videos and to a bunch of people's photos. Now, as far as playlists and what Night Strike was talking about, here on the main page right now, we've done these meetups, right? We'll do a couple of more of these meetups, and we might have some other types of gatherings. But once that's kind of over, and once the event portion of it has become history, what we can do is put a link to the playlist that Night Strike's been working on. And then we can have that here on the overview page. So when someone comes here, what they'll be welcomed with is a playlist that has a bunch of different videos that people have hosted over on GunTube. And that'll be what they can just sit here and watch if they want. And as they scroll through, they can see who went and link off to their various projects and pages on Gun Channels. They can go to browse the photos of the videos specifically. So hopefully that'll give everybody a final product that's great. But then it'll also show us everybody. It lets people see how the different elements of the channels can be used. For example, I was just noticing when Clover, I was watching to see if Clover was going to be doing a show tonight, and you do the same thing. A lot of the people do with their channels, and that's leave a bunch of your old videos here so people can watch them. An alternative to that would be putting them over here into your video section. Right now, you don't have any of them over there. What I did with Knives, because he has the same situation, he accumulates a lot of videos because he does so many live shows, as we put a bunch of his videos into this section over here that says videos. Where'd it go? Or maybe we didn't, but shit, who else did we do that to? Anyway, you get the idea there. You can go in there and then see the videos just like we talked about on the Wanamaker page.
Yeah, I'd like to leave a week or so up on mine, just in case.
Right,
there's so many shows going. After that, I mean, yeah, I just take them out of there. But
gone. But if you have them here, now somebody can scroll in and just.
Yeah, what I need to do is go, like at least a month or something over in the video section. Yeah, that way there's.
Well, there's no reason to delete them here ever. That's what I'm saying. And then they're always searchable. Now, when
Right.
somebody goes up to Gun Channels and searches for something, you're part of the search
fair.
results, or you've created
Yeah,
content. as part of
exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Definitely.
Cycle, thanks for doing your videos. I think we started that whole thing asking you what you had coming up, and you were talking about videos from Wanamaker. Yours have been pretty cool, and you did buy, I think, probably more guns than anybody. So it's awesome that you're also sharing those. That's pretty cool.
Well, thanks. I have a few pictures that I took at JM Davis, not a hell of a lot, and I also have a few pictures of unusual guns that I saw at the actual show, and those are going to be two of the. I'm just going to put the pictures up and narrate under them about what they were and all that kind of junk. But I'll do. I've been putting the Wanamaker Gun Show tag on all that stuff. And if it's also Tulsa GC Meetup, I've been putting those tags in also. So they should be a little easier to find.
I think one of the things we can play with too, once it's all said and done and we've all had a little time to post stuff, right? Then there'll be all this stuff out there with these tags. We can have a couple of get-togethers where we just figure out what to do with those tags. There's so many different ways, some of these different online apps and browser things that we can use to kind of vacuum tags from all different places and create, I don't know what to call them, playlists, I guess. And you experiment with embedding those and see which ones work better than others, and give us a chance to stretch our legs every once in a while with new tech. Yeah, because we don't get enough of that, right?
Well, that makes sense.
We've kind of been talking about what you're doing. Like you said, you're going to play it by ear with times and stuff if you're going to do your show tomorrow. But if it works for you, you're going to be at your place for our show. Yeah, you're welcome to jump in and give us a recap of what happens at the show tomorrow.
Yeah, if I don't have the opportunity to do the regular Friday show, then I will very likely have the opportunity to jump back in, and I would love to do that.
Right on.
I got to get my fix somehow,
Yeah, well, we want to hear. That's what it's all about, and getting it live from a real deal is better than, whatever the NRA's filtered version is going to be, and whatever the other people who are going to fart around waiting for it to go through video editing and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. Big production.
Angelina, I know you're pretty much wrapping up. Are you going to take any time off over the weekend, or are you just going to work right through?
I got work to do right through. Because I still have, believe it or not, people who are still trying to get stuff for NRA. So we got, something wrapping up tomorrow, but...
Oh, so you'll probably have, next day air going out and stuff?
Yep. But that's what happens when you wait till last minute, right? Well, not on my end. Not my end. Let's be clear about that.
So that's what happens. You wait. If you work with the no, I won't even go down there. So if you work with Alan Anker, she will work right till the last moment that they'll pick up and then get it in the mail, so that you do get it in time.
We have worked many a miracle for many a large company that I will not name names, but y'all might know them.
All right, so we'll ask the Gun Channel side for an exit song, and then we'll.
I think Night Strike had something to say.
No, I already mentioned it about
Oh.
the whole Wanamaker Gun Tube channel.
Oh, all right. Obviously, I don't matter. But all right, take it away.
Well, we're not getting any suggestions, so I don't know what kind of lag we're going to have. Does anybody have a quote that we can end on?
I have a quote.
Okay.
This is from Louis L'Amour in his book, The Daybreakers.
Ooh.
Violence is an evil thing, but when guns are all in the hands of men without respect for human rights, then men are really in trouble.
Yes.
That's a good quote.
It was. I was just waiting for Bob to say all this stuff.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.